Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting to our latest stories from the week. On Thursday, Israeli troops advanced toward Gaza City as the Palestinian death toll rose above 9,000, according to the Gaza Ministry of Health. With no end in sight after weeks of heavy fighting, Gaza's hospitals are struggling to treat severely injured patients due to a lack of medical supplies and dire conditions. Israeli airstrikes in Gaza City have continued into Thursday, and the Israeli military urged civilians to move south. On Wednesday, Israel bombed the densely populated Jabalia refugee camp in Gaza for the second time in 2 days, in what the civil defense in the Hamas-run enclave described as a second massacre. This was a strike targeted at a Hamas command and control complex. The UN warned that the strikes raised, quote, serious concerns that these are disproportionate attacks that could amount to war crimes, end quote. Also on Wednesday, injured Palestinians started entering Egypt in the first sanctioned exodus from Gaza in weeks. In the weeks prior to the Hamas attack in Israel on October 7th, hundreds of Hamas members received specialized combat training in Iran, according to people familiar with intelligence related to the attack. About 500 militants from Hamas and other militant groups, the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, participated in the training in September, which was led by officers of the Quds Force, the foreign operations arm of Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps. More than 1,400 people, mostly civilians, were killed on October 7th by Hamas fighters who poured across the border from the Gaza Strip. Hamas attackers used aerial drones to disable Israeli observation posts and high-tech surveillance equipment. U.S. officials said Iran has routinely trained militants in Iran and elsewhere, but they have no specific intelligence to suggest Iran conducted training specifically to prepare for the attack on October 7th. 5 months prior to the tragic shooting in Maine, where gunman Robert Card killed 18 people and seriously injured 13 others, Card's family alerted the local sheriff that they were concerned about his deteriorating mental health while he had access to firearms. A bulletin sent to police shortly after last week's attack said Card had been committed to a mental health facility for 2 weeks after allegedly hearing voices that were telling him to attack a military base. On September 15th, a sheriff's deputy visited Card's home for a wellness check at the request of the reserve unit. After 2 unsuccessful attempts at locating Card, the sheriff's department sent out a statewide alert for help to locate him with a warning that he was known to be armed and dangerous. Authorities recovered a multitude of weapons while searching for Card after the shooting and believe he had legally purchased them. There have been no indications whether they believe Card planned the October 25th rampage in advance. Federal regulators are warning consumers to stop using a number of over-the-counter eye drops that may pose a risk of infection. The Food and Drug Administration released the notice Friday, saying that it applies to 27 eye drop products marketed under several store brands including CVS Health, Rite Aid, Target Up and Up, Walmart Equate, Leader, Rugby, and Velocity Pharma brands. The agency said the eye drops may contain bacteria that could cause eye infections, which could potentially cause vision loss or even blindness. No reports have been filed to the FDA from consumers who have used the suspect products. However, the agency is recommending that manufacturers pull all potentially contaminated products from store shelves. Researchers say that American adults spend about 9.5 hours a day sitting, usually at work. Now, a new study finds that regular daily exercise may offset the increased risk of death associated with prolonged sitting. Norwegian researchers reviewed data from 4 prior studies involving nearly 12,000 participants aged 50 and older. They found that those who sat for 12 or more hours a day had a 38% higher risk of death compared to those sitting for only 8 hours a day. However, if the subjects engaged in moderate to vigorous activity for just 10 minutes a day, that's right, just 10 minutes, their higher risk of death dropped by 35%. And exercising a mere 22 minutes a day essentially erased the higher risk of death associated with excessive sitting. Just another reason to get up out of your chair and get moving. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
Hi, I'm State Representative Bruce Ayers, and I'd like to introduce you to the Helping Hand program. With rising healthcare costs, all too often we hear stories about our seniors, veterans, and neighbors who may not have the proper insurance coverage they need for durable medical equipment. These individuals may be living on a fixed income and may not have the financial resources necessary to cover the cost of the equipment they need. We have a solution. The Helping Hand program provides free, durable medical equipment to residents in need. Items such as wheelchairs, walkers, crutches, canes, commodes, tub seats, and hospital beds are available through the program. We receive donations of lightly used equipment and store them at our facility in North Quincy. If you're in need of any of these items, you can pick them up free of charge and return them after any length of time.
My scooters improve my mobility and independence. Thanks to Helping Hand, I can go to the store, visit the boardwalk, and do so much more.
Helping Hand is a great resource for people who don't have insurance coverage.
The Helping Hand program is successful thanks to the generosity of people who have donated durable medical equipment to our inventory. For more information about the program or to fill out an equipment request form, visit our website or call 617-472-9877. If you know someone in need of these items, we're always available to lend a helping hand.
Welcome back. The town of Braintree has filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit brought against it by a former developer of the Peterson Pool and Rink. Construction for the facility has already faced a long delay, and the lawsuit has only held up the process further. The case was brought by E Street LLC, which took over the project in 2019 from the initial developer and was fired in 2021 after the company failed to submit proof of sufficient financing and meet other deadlines. E Street said it stood to lose $1.2 million on work already done on the site, and the case was scheduled for trial on October 16, 2024. The town's motion was filed last week, and Braintree Mayor Charles Kokoris said E Street is not opposing the motion. Last Tuesday, the Braintree License Board approved an all-alcoholic liquor license for a new restaurant in a 4-0 vote. Alba restaurant owner Leo Kika said he hopes to begin renovation work for his new restaurant and function hall called Scutari near Braintree's Five Corners in the next couple of weeks. The Scutari name comes from the Italian name for Kika's hometown in Albania. The restaurant will be at 589 Granite Street, the building that was occupied by the former Dunkin' Donuts Training Center, better known as Dunkin' Donuts University. Margaret LaForest, Chief of Staff to Mayor Charles Kokoris, in a statement said the mayor supported the license and thinks the restaurant will, quote, be a great restaurant and function hall for Braintree, end quote. On Wednesday, October 25th, the town of Braintree held their second and final debates for school committee, town council, and mayor. Here is more from the mayoral candidates Charles Kokoris and Aaron Joyce.
Candidate Joyce, first question. Every town and city faces challenges. What do you think is the biggest challenge for Braintree's future, and how will you address it?
Thank you. Thank you so much to the former League of Women's Voters for having us this evening, and to Town Hall facilities staff for setting up the room wonderfully, as always. And I just wanted to give a quick birthday shout out to Audrey, who is my campaign manager, and she's here tonight on her birthday. So. But I think absolutely the number one issue facing Braintree is long-term fiscal stability. And I think as long as we are unable to tackle the stability of our finances, we will not be able to make investments into schools, into increased town services, into more senior programming, into modern athletic fields for kids and for just residents who want to enjoy more modern facilities. So we need to get a handle on our finances so we can invest in the future that we're all hoping for.
Thank you. Mayor Kokoris, same question. If you'd like me to repeat the question, I'd be happy to do so.
Sure.
Every town and city faces challenges. What do you think is the biggest challenge for Braintree's future, and how will you address it?
Thank you, and thank you to League of Women Voters and Jean Giagrande for putting this on tonight. When I stood here before you 4 years ago, and you gave me the greatest honor of my life to become your mayor, one of the issues that I discussed was our schools. And our schools were in very difficult position. We needed to do work to our schools, and I think that that still remains one of our biggest challenges, is the physical buildings. Our schools were falling apart. So as mayor, when I came in, one of the first things I did was I decided to do a debt exclusion as I went to each school and looked at each school from the boiler room to the roof. And while doing so, I discovered that we needed to do roofs at our elementary schools. And when I put together a debt exclusion, that debt exclusion not only allowed us to build the first new school, South Middle School in Braintree, but also it allowed us to do 4 of the roofs. In addition to that, I've put together our facilities division. As you look at this beautiful auditorium, that's our facilities division that has been combined with the school facilities division, so we can take a building like we have here that's over 100 years old and make it look beautiful and make the improvements so that it's usable and it is a great place to be. So I think that is the challenge, and we will continue to address that challenge. We already have a number of items in place to do those repairs, and we are making great progress utilizing our facilities divisions, and within that debt exclusion, it allowed us to do so much more than we were able to do before. Thank you.
To watch the full debate, head to our government channels, Comcast Channel 8 and Verizon Channel 26, or catch it on youtube.com/bcamtv. Braintree Curbside Yard Waste collection has begun. Pickup will be on your regular collection day and will continue all the way through the week of November 27th. Curbside yard waste pickup includes grass, leaves, and branches that are in paper bags or an open container that weighs less than 50 pounds. For any questions, please contact the Mayor's office at 781-794-8100 or by email at mayorsoffice@braintreema.gov. The Mayor's office lined up a number of autumn activities for 2023 in partnership with the Braintree Recreation Department. The last one of the season will be on Tuesday, November 7th. The Recreation Department will be hosting a trip to the John F. Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum for students in grades 3 to 8. Cost is $15 and includes round-trip bus transportation from the recreation offices at 74 Pond Street. The bus will leave Braintree at 9:15 a.m. and return around 2 p.m. The trip includes a stop for lunch at Sullivan's Castle Island, but the cost of lunch is not included. To sign up for this event, head to BraintreeRec.com. The Dickens Festival Holiday Craft Fair is a beloved Braintree tradition and will be back for their 29th annual festival in November. Held on the Saturday before Thanksgiving, All Souls Church is transformed into a festive Victorian marketplace decked out for the Christmas season. The Dickens Festival is a touchstone for the holidays that offers the community the gift of a traditional holiday experience filled with good cheer and good fun. This year, the Dickens Festival will take place on Saturday, November 18th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 196 Elm Street. Admission is free, and you'll even get a visit with Santa for pictures. For vendors looking to register for a space at the festival, head to allsoulsbraintree.org. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
He was surprised to find out that he has elevated blood pressure, which could turn into high blood pressure. So he talked with his doctor about a healthy path to get his numbers down. He quit smoking, which makes a big difference for his overall heart health. He also cut down on salt by watching out for high sodium on food labels and added a 30-minute walk 5 days a week to his routine. These healthy steps weren't easy, but lowering his blood pressure was worth it. Learn more about his healthy path.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. Owners of the Banner Park development in Braintree are donating 38 acres of land to the New England Wildlife Center of Weymouth. The Wildlife Center, which is adjacent to the donated land, will be able to use the land for habitat preservation, trail network expansion, and injured animal habitats. Wildlife Center Chief Executive Officer Katrina Bergman said the donations include wetlands and uplands. Bergman said a donor has pledged the money needed to expand the trail network and add signs for the center's education programs. They hope to begin construction on the new trails once the paperwork is completed and the deed is recorded. Last Saturday, Worcester State University issued a shelter-in-place alert for all buildings. The campus was closed and all university events on and off campus were canceled. A Massachusetts State Police spokesperson said their assistance was requested around 2:45 a.m. following a double shooting in the area of a parking garage. According to State Police, 2 victims were transported to UMass Medical Center. The parking lot is located near a student dorm as well as the university library. State Police said 1 suspect was taken into custody by Worcester Police. Investigators said the incident appeared to be the result of an altercation and was not an active shooter incident. Police are planning to charge a suspect who has been accused of calling in bomb threats 2 days in a row to Quincy High School and Point Webster Middle School last week. According to Quincy Police Captain Daniel Guarente, the suspect is a juvenile. Threats called in last week forced early dismissal of students on October 25th and temporarily disrupted classes again on the 26th. School Superintendent Kevin Mulvey said that 2 more bomb threats were phoned in to Point Webster Middle School around 1 p.m. on Thursday, hours after the threats directed at Quincy High School. The suspect's name was not released in Mulvey's letter to the community. The Marina Bay Boardwalk in Quincy is hosting a day of family fun, food, music, and activities for all ages this weekend. Harvest Fest will take place rain or shine on Sunday, November 5th from noon to 4 p.m. The event is sponsored by the Marina Bay Business Association and will fill the boardwalk with artists and craft vendors selling items. Face painting will be offered in front of Break Rock Brewing, along with a friendly goat to pet and play with. Then at 1 p.m. in front of the Clock Tower, pop, rock, and blues band Gracie Grace and All the Good Boys will perform. For more information, visit mbbaquincy.com. This Saturday, November 4th, don't forget to turn your clocks back. For many, the time change is a seasonal sign of the start of winter, but sleep experts are urging legislators to consider making Eastern Standard Time permanent. 2 neurologists specializing in sleep were among those who spoke at the Joint Committee on State Administration and Regulatory Oversight, where they urged lawmakers to signal to the federal government that Massachusetts is done with daylight saving time. They were clear in their comments about the benefits of keeping time aligned with the sun and urged the committee to support the companion bills filed by Representative Angelo Popolo Jr. and Senator Patrick O'Connor. The bill stipulates that Massachusetts would not end its time flipping until it can form a partnership with Connecticut, Vermont, and New Hampshire. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment.
It's that time of the year again, flu season. Getting vaccinated against the flu and COVID-19 can help keep you, your family, and your community healthy. You can even get both vaccines at the same time. Visit mass.gov/flushot to learn more.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now in entertainment, we have some new movie recommendations for you to watch. First in entertainment, Five Nights at Freddy's follows a troubled security guard who begins working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. While spending his first night on the job, he realizes the late shift at Freddy's won't be so easy to make it through. The film stars Josh Hutcherson. You can watch Five Nights at Freddy's now in theaters or on Peacock. Next up, Pain Hustlers follows a woman who, after losing her job, is struggling to raise her daughter and takes a job out of desperation. She begins work at a failing pharmaceutical startup, but what she doesn't anticipate is the dangerous racketeering scheme she suddenly entered. The film stars Chris Evans and Emily Blunt. You can watch Pain Hustlers now on Netflix. Finally, in entertainment, Old Dads follows a middle-aged father and his two best friends who sell their company to a millennial. They soon find themselves out of step and behind the times as they struggle to navigate a changing world of culture, career, and fatherhood. The film stars Bill Burr and Bobby Cannavale. You can watch Old Dads now on Netflix. That'll do it for news today. Remember, if you're a customer of Verizon, you can watch BCAM TV in high definition on channel 2128. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.